Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Integrity Commission responds to critics regarding the Prime Minister's 2021 statutory declarations. Alleged gangster shot and killed in St. James. And later in sports, Reggae Boys advance to quarterfinals of CONCACAF Nations League. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kerry-Ann Simpson. Here are the details. There was high drama in Gordon House this morning as the chairman of the Integrity Commission, Justice Seymour Panton, defended the work of the commission. The IC chairman stressed that he was puzzled about the behavior of some parliamentarians in the lower house.
I don't know if something is wrong with the water in Parliament, why some people, the moment they get into Parliament, they say certain things and behave a certain way. I don't know if that is it. As a result, I decided that I wasn't going to take the chance of drinking any water here.
IC has been coming on the fire, especially from members of the government side, after it submitted an investigation report into the finances of Prime Minister Andrew Holness.
A document with the photographs of 4 of us saying that we are bringing down the government. For a member of Parliament to be doing that, it's reprehensible. And I have not heard any parliamentarian condemn it.
Justice Panton also suggested that some of the parliamentarians need to talk with Government Senator Dr. Safar Longmore, who is a psychiatrist. In the meantime, he rubbished claims that the commission is partisan.
Other statements made in this room about giving orders. The commission takes orders from no one other than the court, and it needs to be understood.
Business and consumer confidence fell for the third quarter of 2024. According to the Don Anderson-led market research poll, consumer confidence index is at 168, while business confidence index is at 135. The decline, though marginal compared to the similar period last year, represents the third consecutive negative outlook by the public for the economy. Consumers have described the current business conditions as a reason for the apprehension.
Felt that business conditions were good. Where are we in the third quarter of 2024? 15.4%. Hardly any change. All right? When you look at it from the perspective of this third quarter of 2023, it's a pretty flat line at 15.4%. So there's been no change really in how the consumers feel about current business conditions.
Despite the improvements in both business and consumer confidence indices post-pandemic, the groups have a dim outlook for the next 12 months. Crime and access to disposable income are two of the major reasons why.
The number of businesses that think the situation is going to get worse. That moves from 19 percentage points in the second quarter of 2024 to 27% in the third quarter of 2024. And that's a substantial jump. So people are saying we're still digging out of the challenges of COVID, the supply chain irregularities and the uncertainty and the fluctuation of the dollar and so on. So we don't expect the economy to improve that quickly. Then we have increase in crime, spontaneous comment. We have high prices for goods and services, so businesses are feeling it, they're passing it on to the consumers. We have unstable foreign exchange, totally unprompted response. And fifthly, we have low disposable income. So they're saying they're also echoing the comments from the consumers that we don't have sufficient disposable income And the businesses are saying that this is actually impacting our ability to actually be more positive.
In a TVJ News follow-up, the Portland Health Department has given one vendor the green light to resume operations at the Boston Jerk Center. The facility was closed on September 6 due to health and safety reasons. The health department says the vendor has been the only person so far who have met all the requirements to go back into business. The other vendors are still working to meet the guidelines. The health department will be revisiting the facility again today. A 32-year-old laborer from Brownstown, St. Anne has been arrested and charged after breaching security at the Runaway Bay police station. At approximately 5:30 Saturday evening, Alfonso Houghton, also known as Prince of Lower Boxton, was apprehended by the St. Anne police. TVJ News understands that off-duty police personnel reportedly saw Houghton jumping over the rear wall of the station and attempting to deliver a package to the cell area. Upon investigation, the package contained cigarettes, vegetable matter, and a knife. He was arrested, questioned, and formally charged with introducing contraband. A court date is pending. The St. James Police is investigating the murder of a man at the entrance of its Area 1 control base last evening. According to reports, sometime around 10 o'clock, armed men chased a man along King Street when he fell at the station's entrance. TVJ News understands that the man was shot several times. A police unit from the Freetown police station responded to the incident, but in a twist of events crashed due to a pothole. It's understood that the police unit was exiting the station when an oncoming vehicle driving in the opposite direction swung from the pothole adjacent to the station, causing the accident. No one was hurt. Now, this is the second murder in the area in less than a week. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says developmental plans are ongoing for Trelawney, one of which is the extension of the Elegant Corridor in St. James. The minister was addressing party supporters at the Northern Trelawney Conference in Duncan's on Sunday.
It was a jubilant moment in Duncan's at Trelawney Sunday night as the JLP supporters received good news about the progress for their parish. Many could be heard screaming as Minister Edmund Bartlett spewed plans that he says will improve the infrastructure and economical landscape of the town.
We are going to extend the Elegant Corridor from Montego Bay Airport all the way to the border because Andrew Michael Holness has just finished negotiating a highway expansion plan and program to give you 4-lane highway.
The Elegant Corridor is the coastal area east of the Sangsters International Airport and spans approximately 17 kilometers. Shifting his focus from roads to hotels, Mr. Bartlett later made this announcement.
We are in closing discussions to transform Braco Hotel. An international partner is now in discussion for us to have 600 more rooms there and to make that into first-class hotel in Jamaica.
Now, the minister also gave an update on the stalled US $1 billion Harmony Cove development project. Earlier this year, the government, through Harmonization Limited, entered into a definitive framework agreement with the Tavistock Group for the 25-story hotel tower, which will have 1,000 rooms.
We have now put it together and it will happen and ground will break shortly and construction will begin next year. 1,000 new rooms will start with golf course and casino and villas. And we are going to be bringing some of the top names in the world of entertainment and of sport right here in Harmony Cove, next door to you at Duncan.
Nakinski Robinson, TVJ News.
It's time for a break. Stay with us. More local stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. Normalcy has been restored in Mile Gully, Manchester, after taxi operators and motorists protested Monday over deplorable road conditions. The protesters used stones and other debris to mount the protest. The police were later called to clear the area. Principal of Mile Gully High, Christopher Time, says this impacted students and teachers at the facility. He said 70% of students and 50% of teachers couldn't make it to school. Parents were advised to collect their children early. There are often medical emergencies in households associated with individuals with mental health issues. But CEO of Bellevue Hospital, Camille Buchanan, says the facility is not able to respond in such cases.
However, the law does not provide Bellevue to do the pickup. So it's really the community mental health that does that. That unit was created specifically for that purpose. They are equipped with the knowledge and the know-how to handle these individuals. They're equipped with restraints, their vehicle, they are equipped to handle these emergencies. The most they'll do is call us and say, listen, we're coming in, the patient is aggressive, be on standby, and we are usually there.
Ms. Buchanan was addressing the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation. She also addressed other issues, including families refusing to pick up their relatives from the hospital.
The family member's last memory of their loved one is usually in a manic or an aggressive stage. And that's the problem. So when you think and say, boy, me I go for Ken, you know, and for this your mother go for Ken, we shall for Ken come burn down your house. You must be mad. But you understand when Ken come in the hospital, we're the specialists in the island. By the time Ken is leaving, Ken is healthy.
It's now time for the Business Minute.
Scotiabank says effective October 1 this year, prospective clients in the Caribbean region who want to open an account can now do so entirely online. The bank also says this is mainly due to an expansion of its digital onboarding process, which was previously made available to existing clients last year. Scotiabank pointed out that this initiative is part of its global strategy to make it easier for people to do business with the company, while stressing that the ability to open an account online will lead to an improvement in the overall client experience. Further afield, a new analysis has found the Boeing strike has so far cost the company nearly $5 billion. Not a single plane has been worked on at the production facility in Everett, Washington since 33,000 members of the International Association of Machinists walked off the job a month ago. The Anderson Economic Group says workers and shareholders make up the bulk of the losses. Airlines are also feeling the pain. According to the analysis, Boeing customers have lost $285 million since the strike started. Talks between Boeing and the striking workers broke off last week after 2 days of federal mediated negotiating. For the Business Minute, I'm Shane Masters.
Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, St. Lucia's Central Statistical Office says the country registered a record low number of unemployment people for the first half of this year. In its latest publication of labor force data for the second quarter of the year, the CSO said that for the period April to June, the unemployment rate averaged 11.25%, making it the lowest second quarter unemployment rate since 2012. On the international scene, South Korean authorities said North Korea blew up parts of two major roads connected to the southern part of the peninsula on Tuesday after Pyongyang warned it would take steps to completely cut off its territory from the south. In response to the explosions, the South Korean military opened gunfire within the south of the military demarcation line and is closely monitoring the North Korean military's movements, maintaining fully readiness posture under cooperation with the U.S. And the UN says its peacemakers will stay in their positions in southern Lebanon despite repeated demands by Israel that they should move out of the way of its forces there. Lebanon says at least 21 people have been killed and 8 others injured in a rare Israeli strike in the north of the country. The strike hit a residential building, a mainly Christian village far from the areas where Israel has carried out strikes targeting Hezbollah. Israel says it is examining the incident. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Raquel Porto.
Thanks, Raquel. We head to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have your midday sports report.